Welcome to the end of the vine and the beginning of our show that goes where food grows. Today I'm here with Chef Mike Midgely from Ernie's Food and Spirits in Manteca. Hi, Mike.
What's up, Lulu?
Oh,
Pleased as punch to be here.
It's great to see you too. Let's see, what are you gonna make for us today?
Well, we're gonna do a nice red wine reduction sauce. We're gonna
Okay.
pour that over some duck when it's all done. Then we're gonna get after some chicken and grape skewers. It's gonna be fun. It's good to even get the kids involved on this one, you know? You're sticking stuff on sticks.
Yeah, great
throwing it
idea.
on the grill.
And there's a secret recipe too that you're not gonna show today, but I get to maybe see it or taste it.
You could taste it. You could look, but not touch right now, but later.
Okay, well let's get started on the ingredients for the first recipe, the reduction.
So this is really simple. You're gonna start off with a basic mirepoix, carrots, celery, and onions.
Mirepoix.
Mirepoix, here you can
What's
hold
a
on to-
mirepoix?
Mirepoix is carrots, celery, and onions. And since we're just kind of gonna reduce this low and slow in a pot, you know, the chops don't have to be perfect, you know.
If you only have like that little bag of baby carrots, is that legal or?
Oh man, baby carrots are good, shredded carrots, any kind of carrots you can get your hand on, you know. Just watch your fingers while you're cutting the carrots, because this will cut your fingers off. It's
I believe.
dangerous. All right, then we're gonna push this off to the side. We'll get down on the celery. Probably want like 2 or 3 ribs, celery ribs, you know. Chop, 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 chop. It's like that Dana Carvey, chopping broccoli. Yeah.
So Mike, I hear that when you walk into your restaurant, it's like walking into a San Francisco restaurant.
It is, because we're in Manteca, and it's really like unassuming place in the middle of nowhere. And you're walking up on this strip mall. You walk in through these big brown doors, and it's like, ah! It's like cognac everywhere and scotch. You
Sounds
know?
like fun.
You feel like you're on a date with Ron Burgundy when you go in there, you know? So, good times. So we're just gonna cut up this onion. You're not gonna worry about like pulling off all the outside. We're gonna strain everything. 'Cause, you know, like sometimes peeling these things can be a real, you know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
So you're just gonna leave the
So-
peel on, huh?
Leave the peel on. And we're just gonna throw all this stuff.
While he throws that in the pot, we're gonna go to break, and when we come back, we'll check in with Shauna, our farmer correspondent, and we'll keep cooking.
Cooking, good looking.
Okay, we're back. Take it away, Mike.
Well, now we just gotta pour a little vino into this pot and let that reduce. What do you know? I got some right here.
Nothing up my sleeve.
You're gonna go about 1.5 bottles and a bottle of port. I have both of these mixed up into here. You're gonna let that reduce for like 30 to 45 minutes until you have a couple cups. And in the meantime, we could work on our next recipe. How about a chicken and grape skewer? How's that sound to you?
Sounds great to me. Let's get it going.
Meat on a stick. Everybody loves it. All right. Do you know how to juggle?
No.
You know, like, whoa, check me out. I used to work at a circus, you know. And we have some olive oil. You cut those lemons up for me if you want.
I'd love to.
We're gonna zest them. Salt and pepper.
Is that how you want them?
Yeah, a little rosemary.
So let's just talk about the grapes you're gonna put on here.
Sure.
There's
Oh,
table
yeah,
grapes, there's wine grapes. I've kind of heard a little thing that like table grapes are fat and sassy and wine grapes are mean and lean.
Fat and sassy, mean and lean. I don't know. They both sound like fun to party with.
Okay, while you're cutting that up,
All right.
we're gonna check in with our farmer correspondent, Shauna.
Hey Joe, thanks for being with us today.
And no problem at all.
Now, what kind of grapes do you have here?
On the field that we're at here, we grow Cabernet, Sauvignon, Chardonnay, Pinot Grigio, and Zinfandel.
once you plant a grapevine, how long does it take to produce?
If you plant a grapevine, say in this past summer, it takes about 2 years to get it in production. Because of the cost of everything, you need to get it into production as soon as you can.
Right.
The old days, maybe it was 3 to 4 years. Now we got it pretty much down to 2. Everything that we grow is on drip irrigation, so it really helps get that young vine into production as soon as you can.
Right. What is the biggest challenge for you?
The biggest challenge is always unpredictability of the weather. You're never anticipating what's going to happen, whether it's in the springtime and we have frost, or in the fall time during harvest we have rain. But you're always looking at the weather and saying what's going to happen next week or the 10-day forecast. It's not about as much as what's happening today, it's what's happening a week to 10 days down the road.
Thanks, Shauna. Now back to the chopping and the mixing. Mike?
So rosemary, a little lemon. It's a little trick I learned from Tyler Florence. And they want to get the juice out. It works fast. We're gonna hit a little olive oil, some S&P. You can go back like Kobe. You'd be like, have some fun in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And then cut all of our fresh ingredients first, since we have one cutting board. Now we'll contaminate it with chicken.
I appreciate that,
salmonella,
Mike.
solid. So we're gonna cut this up into cubes. Do you have a skewer for us? We can get rolling.
I happen to have 2 right here.
Oh my gosh, you're fast. So we're gonna mix this up. Just put the chicken right in here.
Our sponsor for this segment is Foster Farms Chicken. And since 1939, its humble beginnings started here in the San Joaquin Valley. The reason why the Foster Farm brand has been so strong for so long is that it continues to have a long relationship with 32 independent family-owned farms in Washington and Oregon. Do you ever use any other type of meat or just the chicken?
Oh man, chicken, beef, pork, pig, chicken, cow, wow, whatever. All right.
That's the combo skewer.
So now we have some green, seedless table grapes. So you can do a lot of stuff with these things besides cook, Like if you were like a little poor kid, you could play marbles,
For a day, maybe,
I
huh?
know. I couldn't ever afford those like fancy marbles, so started playing with my food when I was a kid. So just like that.
All right.
You want to hold this stick?
I would.
All right, be steady, don't stab me.
No knife fight here.
No knife fight here. I was on that show once.
I heard.
I don't know if they're gonna have me back.
You're a top chef guy, too.
I was on Top Chef. That was fun. It's like being on lockdown for like 30 days. But all right, let's do another one.
All right, well, while we put another skewer together, we're gonna check in again with Shauna and see what she's doing out there in the harvest.
So what has the harvest been like for you this year?
So far it's been okay. The weather's been cooperating. It's a challenge trying to get enough loads from the winery, to match up with what we're capable of picking. But when it's all said and done, it seems always to work out.
Right. Do you run 24 hours?
Typically, we do most of the harvesting at nighttime because the grapes are cooler and crisper. They come off the vine easier.
Wow, that's interesting. And usually how long does the harvest last?
Our harvest usually lasts anywhere from 8 to 10 weeks.
Now, what is the prep like before August hits and harvest starts?
As far as the prep work, we start working on machines typically the end of February, first part of March. We do have 10 harvesters, so it does take time to go through, check the bearings, make sure everything's ready. So when we're ready, the machines are ready, and the grapes are ready, we start harvesting.
So you really don't have much of an off time. You have about 3-4 months?
No, the off time is typically November, part of December is off, and we start pruning, and the whole season starts all over again.
Thanks, Shauna. Mike, on guard.
Your Schwartz is bigger than mine. You play with your food, man, you got fun. I got kids, so can't be too serious with this stuff. So they're just gonna throw it right on the grill, get that sizzle.
Ooh, it's smelling
Don't be
good
scared
already.
to grill grapes. Just make sure you got them on a stick because they'll fall through the grill.
So I'm kind of wondering, you're cooking grapes with chicken, so do the grapes have to cook for a longer time, a shorter time?
Well, we got the green seedless grape. It's a pretty firm grape. And we're gonna keep turning this kind of like rotisserie. The big breasted chicken that we're cooking here is cut up into smaller pieces. So it's gonna cook pretty fast.
About how much time do you leave, how long do you leave them on there?
You know, if you're doing this at home, 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Okay.
You know, keep turning it. You can maybe close the hood on your grill. Okay. Or you know what, if you don't have a grill, you can just throw them in the oven.
Oh,
So
okay.
don't have an oven, throw it in the microwave. Just make sure you're using a wood stick, because you know, like that's not gonna be good. The snap, crackle, pop action.
Okay.
Bad.
All right, we're gonna let those sizzle for a few more minutes, take a break, and we'll be right back.
Yes, ready, ready.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
A spark ignites the imagination of a young 4-H member. As a teenager, he explores. As a young man, he experiments. As a scientist, he uses a new technology to detect an invisible tumor in a little girl's eye. The 4-H commitment of fostering 1 million new scientists and engineers is being embraced by companies and universities around the country. 4-H, 1 million new scientists, 1 million new ideas.
Check in with our farmer correspondent, Shauna.
Thanks, Lulu. I'm always amazed at how much the farmer knows about growing grapes and how easy they make it look, especially when I get into my own backyard. Equally amazing are these vines here. And what makes the grapevines even more versatile is that you can cut a shoot and plant them in your own backyard. And I'm gonna show you how. You're gonna wanna go 1, 2, 3, 4 notches up and cut at the base of the 4th notch. Just like that. Then dig a hole deep enough to plant the cutting able to stand alone, but not deeper than the first node or bud. At the bottom of the cutting, make the cut at a 45-degree angle and 1 inch above the node. After you have filled the hole with dirt, you can remove most of the leaves and stems from the buds. This is harvest time, but you will have to wait until winter to do any pruning if needed, because grapevines will bleed sap if they are not dormant. In order to ensure that the cutting takes, you should plant a few extras. So if you have 1 vine or 1,000, the cultural practices are all the same.
Thanks, Shauna. This is the moment we've been waiting for, the pairing and plating. Mike?
Grilled chicken and grapes. Check it out.
Voila.
Get a shot.
I bet your kids like those too, huh?
They do, you know.
We'll plate those up.
You plate those up.
How about that reduction?
The reduction. What should we put this on? What do you think? How about some duck?
Reduction? Okay.
Duck. All right, so duck, goose. You're gonna take your duck, just gonna slice it.
Can you use other meats too?
You could use any meat. You could pour this sauce on that chicken skewer, it'd be great.
Oh, okay.
But
what if I don't have that fancy little squeeze bottle?
so if you don't have a fancy squeeze bottle, I mean, you could use a empty mustard bottle, ketchup. I mean, we all have condiments at home. You can find one of these at like a dollar store, I'm sure. And then we're just gonna drizzle. Look at that, it's sexy.
That looks really
I
good.
know. It's like,
And you can store that in the fridge?
store it in the fridge for like 3 months, long time. So look at that sauce, it's done.
It's
sexy.
saucy.
Saucy.
Okay, what about the secret recipe?
So secret recipe, we have some pickled grapes. And what we did with those pickled grapes was we made a stuffed chicken breast with goat cheese and pickled grapes. Just kind of jam that under the skin. Are you really after that, huh?
I am. This is interesting.
Dig in, mama. Don't be shy. I've never had a pickled grape until just recently. Cheers. What do you think? My daughter loves these things.
Those are pungent. Those are good.
Got a little punch.
All right, well. This week's wine sponsor is Ironstone. Ironstone Vineyards is also the backdrop of our Growers segment, and Ironstone has celebrated many great harvests, with this past year's being no exception. Thank you, Ironstone. Mike, just want to thank you so much for coming today and for being here with us today, and toast you for all these wonderful recipes.
All right, well, thanks. Grapes a lot, huh? Check that out.
Watch out for the hole fix.
Are you kidding me eating?
And Johnny Shovel's going to be over here in a second.
Like Gremlins, man. Yeah, after the first one, every time we drank after midnight, you know, it's called it earlier.
Shoot bars a guide for you. Go with the front edge of the table. We're thinking that we might as well. Tricky on that one. Mike, you got to know these things. National TV stuff, and you know.
Aren't you gonna dance or something?
Oh, you're right. You're right. I'll just put it.
This one coming from the bottom, draw a tincture from here up into the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And Jonathan, this is John. Get that. You can't hide. Look at that. That's the set pet right there. A long way. Freezing snap out here. It's
There's so much.
beautiful. Yeah.
Anyway, you can search the world over and mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? She is!